Everybody's got a favorite fragrance note, whether it's oak moss, vetiver, amber, vanilla, or even oud. One of my favorite fragrance notes is incense, and I'm going to introduce you guys to one of the best incense fragrances I've ever come across. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Been a while since I posted a full video, but anyway, today I'm going over Samahram from the house of Omanluxury. Now, before I continue, most of you guys out there are going to know this one as Royal Incense. This one was originally released in 2018 under this name, Samahram. And anyway, in 2020, they relaunched this as this one here, Royal Incense. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way at the beginning of the video here. There has been no reformulation. It's the exact same fragrance, just in a very different presentation. From Oman, we have the house of Omanluxury. Now, as far as Omani fragrance houses go, the most popular one is probably Amouage. It's the one that most niche aficionados have heard of. But oh man, some of the offerings from this house really give Amouage a run for their money. I mean, this house is absolutely spectacular. They have some of the nicest fragrances, as far as I'm concerned, that you can get on the market. My favorite ones are probably Sapphire. I love Angam as well. And also this one, Samahram, also known as Royal Incense, is a thing of beauty, and I can't wait to get into it, so let's do it. So briefly going over the presentation, this is the original or older presentation here. It looks like kind of a marble design, maybe with some golden specks. Really interesting here. We have the box itself. It's a very solid cardboard, maybe even plastic, but yeah, it's definitely protective. It's hard, almost as hard as a brick. And it lifts off like this. We have a golden inner trim around the inside of the box, and the bottle's a little bed for it to lay in. All in all, very good quality box, but you know, I'm much more about the scent than I am about the presentation. That said, I'd like to go over this bottle briefly. I really like this cubic bottle. It's really nice. It reminds me a little bit of the ones from Tiziana Terenzi, which along with Encre Noire L'Extrême from Lalique are my favorite bottle designs. I absolutely love them. This one here has a velvety, almost rubberized, very smooth finish around the edge. It also has a golden cap that kind of has, it looks like maybe a honeycomb design, or maybe like a dry lake bed or something like that. Is that an ode to the area in Oman where this comes from? Not sure. I really don't know. But despite the fact that I do love this presentation, the cap is a little bit flimsy. But yeah, this fragrance here is based around the note of olibanum, also known as frankincense, also known as incense. This particular variety is called Royal Dojari, and it comes from the Dhofar region of Oman. And a lot of experts say that this variety of olibanum, this variety of frankincense, is the nicest, best quality in the world. And honestly, I can't say that I've smelled every variety of olibanum out there, but this is definitely one of the nicer renditions that I've managed to come across so far. So the notes that I get in this fragrance in order of appearance are the following. I get some rose. So the main thing that I'm hit with right off the bat is rose. It's a very sweet rose. It's a very syrupy rose. The rose in this is very concentrated. It's strong right off the bat. If you don't like rose, if you don't like florals, this might not be the fragrance for you, because I get heavy rose in the beginning. And like I said, it's on the sweet side. It's not one of those lighter, maybe watery, fresh roses. No. This is floral through and through. It's a deep rose. It's a sweet rose. And you know, despite the fact that rose isn't really one of my favorite fragrance notes, I have to admit it is done very well in this. It's heavy, but it doesn't dominate the other notes, and I'll get to that in a second. It might be very sweet, yes, but it smells of just such good quality that the strength of the rose in this one doesn't really bother me. Also, there's no oud in this, so we don't get that heavy rose oud combination that sometimes we get in other Middle Eastern style fragrances. So because of that, I find the rose is definitely a little bit more palatable than in other fragrances of the same style, let's say. Closely followed by the rose, I get some raspberry. Raspberry is not mentioned in the official note breakdown, but I absolutely do detect some raspberry. It's very prominent, it's very tart, it's bitter, but it also has that ketonic sort of sweetness to it that raspberries are known for. Very delicious combination here, that mixture of the rose and the raspberry in the opening of its fragrance. It does remind me somewhat of the opening of Ombre Nomad by Louis Vuitton and other fragrances of the same genre. Of course, again, without the oud. There's no oud in this stuff here. Then we're met with some amber. The amber in this is definitely on the sweeter side. It has kind of like a gummy characteristic to it as well. I find that we get a lot more of the benzoinic and labdanum qualities as opposed to the vanilla. The vanilla aspect of the amber is a little bit present, but like I said, those other two facets of the amber are definitely more powerful to my nose in this fragrance here. The amber itself, you know, despite amber being a synthetic accord in and of itself, I find it's done very, very, very well here. I love ambers, and I especially love ambers that don't go too heavy on the vanilla. I prefer the benzoinic and the labdanum aspects of the amber accord, and they're very present in this one here. Then we get some honey. Ooh, this has to be one of the nicest honey fragrances I've ever smelled. Honey, very heavy in this. It is a little bit syrupy. It is on the balsamic side of things. So what I mean by that is, like, there's definitely a sweetness to it, but I wouldn't say that it goes into the gourmand direction. I wouldn't say that this reminds me of anything gourmand as a fragrance in general, despite the fact that it has raspberry, despite the fact that it has honey. I just don't find it goes gourmand. Although there is that balsamic sweetness, it's a really interesting combination of notes, and I find everything else is kind of held up by this honey here. What I mean by that is the honey supports everything. It's omnipresent in the lifespan of this fragrance. And the honey is done very well. Like I said, balsamic, syrupy, but somehow never goes cloying. It's never an overpowering sweetness. Although I will mention that the honey does have a distinct animalic character. So it's like raw honey, pure honey, and it smells absolutely amazing. Of course, I think it smells amazing because I like the smell of honey. You may not, that's totally fine. These are just my thoughts. There is a little bit of ambergris in this as well. It's going to give it a sea salty characteristic. Some people think that ambergris, you know, smells a little bit like sweat, perhaps, or maybe even beer. And I kind of understand where those people are coming from. There definitely is a salty characteristic. It almost reminds me of like a sea breeze, but much heavier, much more profound, you know, a little bit deeper than that sensation that a cooling sea breeze gives off, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there definitely is a salty ambergris in this. Little bit of leather. It's a smooth leather. It's a little bit on the dark side, but it's not an animalic leather. I would say it's kind of akin to the same type of leather that's in Ombre Leather by Tom Ford. So, you know, not the most animalic style leather. It's more on the smooth side, definitely. But honestly, the leather in this, I don't think it's extremely prominent. It is there though, and it just adds kind of like a nice, soft yet kind of dark background. But the main player in this fragrance, my absolute favorite part, is that incense. My goodness, I don't think I've smelled a better incense fragrance than this. The olibanum, it smells like pure olibanum. And we get all of the different facets of the olibanum. So at the beginning, we get that citrusy, sweet woodiness of the unlit olibanum. It's photorealistic. I'm absolutely certain that they're using real olibanum oil in this. It absolutely smells like it. The development of this olibanum note specifically is amazing in this fragrance. Citrusy, soft, woody, sweet, vanillic at the beginning. But then as this fragrance dries down, that olibanum becomes smoky. It's a very heavy, smoky incense smell. It's going to remind you of being at a church service or something like that. So all in all, I have to say this fragrance here is absolutely evocative of a very specific memory to me. A few weeks ago, I was in Almeria, southern Spain, for the procesiones of the cofradías. The processions that they have. The people dress up and they do parades to commemorate religious celebrations. They have those big, elegant parade floats. The whole city comes out to celebrate. Those processions are happening all night long. They're burning a ton of incense. And sometimes you have these little markets that are set up on the street, people selling flowers like roses, for example, people selling baked goods with honey drizzled over them. And of course, with that smell of the burning incense wafting through the streets, permeating everything. Wow, this scent is absolutely evocative of that to me. It smells like I'm in Almeria during the Holy Week processions. It's so realistic. It's absolutely transportative. This is a really amazing scent. It tells a story. It doesn't just smell good. It's so profound. It's so complex. It really takes me to a different place when I smell that. And to me, that's what perfumery is all about. This is a really moving type of fragrance for me. Also, I do get some reminders of Patchouli Koja, which is a fragrance of Nishane, one of my favorites. However, this one here, Samahram, has much heavier incense. There's definitely way more incense in this, and there's more florals in this one here. But that balsamic, honeyed, sweet depth definitely exists in this one, the same as it exists in Nishane's Patchouli Koja. So if you like Patchouli Koja, even if you like things like Laudano Nero, maybe by Tiziana Terenzi, I think you're really going to like this one. But I'm going to touch briefly on the Versatility. This is a strong fragrance. It's very heavy. Each individual note is very heavy, very detectable in this, to the point that it might be overwhelming for some people, especially lesser experienced fragrance collectors maybe. I think this is a fragrance that requires a time and a place, you know what I mean? I would wear this to an outdoor celebration, like las procesiones de Semana Santa, por ejemplo. That would be a perfect time to wear this. I don't think it's like the most versatile fragrance. I would kind of limit this maybe to like outdoor wear or maybe indoor wear at special occasions, weddings, church services, things like that. This is one that I would not wear to the office. This is one that I would not wear to university, for example. It's heavy and it's spiritual. It's spiritual. Like I said, I think this is very special, and I think it just requires a little bit of thought, set and setting. You know what I mean? I feel like set and setting have to be considered before applying this masterpiece on your skin. And yeah, that leads me into the next part, which is the performance. The performance is very good. I wouldn't say it's beast mode, but it's, you know, just short of beast mode. But yeah, absolutely no complaints whatsoever in the performance department. People will kind of smell you before you enter a room kind of thing. It's that type of fragrance. But anyway, if you're the type of person who cares about performance, do not let that be a deal breaker with this one. It's very strong. You won't be disappointed. Touching on the price now, it's a bit of an expensive fragrance, but I think the quality of the ingredients almost justifies the really high prices. But yeah, North America, FragranceNet has this on for 190 US for a 100 milliliter bottle. In the European Union, the price hovers right around the same price. It's 190 euros, roughly 180, 190 euros. But yeah, my advice is look around, compare prices. Sometimes this can be had for even less. And yeah, if you're a fan of incense, I don't know. The quality of this one doesn't get much better, I don't think. So maybe for you, that price will be totally worth it anyway. Anyway, guys, that's been my review of Samahram by Omanluxury. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. My apologies if I'm not. But yeah, incense being one of my favorite notes, this is absolutely one of my favorite fragrances. Although, you know, it's not just about the olibanum. It's very nicely complemented by those other very strong notes. But yeah, if you're a fan of oriental fragrances with heavy, incensey, balsamic smoke, ooh, this is one that you're going to want to check out, my friends. So how about you guys? Do you know Omanluxury? Are you familiar with any of their scents? What do you think of the house in general? I know they're relatively new. I do have familiarity with the house, but again, I'm always looking to learn something new. And absolutely, I'm excited to get the conversations going down in the comments. So guys, leave your comments to let me know what you think. And until next time, keep it real.